Mr. DJ, music no daylight. Make you just stay jam as we dey try survive.
Country hard, but we go overcome. Forget your sorrow, but we will overcome. Ojoro dande, but we go overcome. Ojoro dande, but we.
Yeah, honestly, the truth is, a lot of Nigerians are, getting it hard to cope with the effect of the fuel subsidy removal. It's really taking toll on virtually everybody, including the politicians themselves. And like I said yesterday, one of the major problems that I think is really contributing to the hardship right now is lack of regulations, market regulations. If there is one thing I know Nigerians to be good at, is how to inflate their products, how to inflate their services and everything. So yes, Nigeria is an open market economy, but a lot of Nigerians are misusing that policy, and I think governments really need to do something about that if really we want to, cope with this subsidy removal of a thing. Yes, like I said, sometimes I always say that a policy making is not the problem of governments. We have brilliant people, we have professors, we have geniuses who are working with the government, making good policies. But another thing is the implementation. One of the problems that we have is policy implementations. We have good policy making, we have good bodies who are, helping government in making good policies. But when it comes down to implementations, and you see all these policies that is coming from the federal government becoming a bad policy at the end because the implementation is very bad. A lot of people argue that yes, they agree with President Buhari removing the fuel subsidy, but the implementation of that policy is, a lot of people has really criticized it, that it was not implemented in the right way, in the right manner, at the right time. So one of the problems that we have is implementation of policies. We are very poor in implementing policies. And also the citizens, the Nigerians also have their own share of the blame, because if there's one thing I know Nigerians to be good at, is how to take advantage of situations. I know at this moment, of course, I know that the petroleum, the subsidy, problem will really affect a lot of things, but absolutely a lot of things that doesn't really, are not really affected by this fuel subsidy. But of course, Nigerians will really use the advantage to inflate their product, to inflate their market, to inflate their services and everything. And this is one of the aspects, this is one of the areas the government really need to come in and, checkmate. There should be a body, there should be a strong body that will be controlling or managing, markets, prices, market services and everything. There should be regulation in that aspect. Nigeria is a country whereby you see, in the market, you see the same, a seller selling a product maybe for 500 naira, maybe in the next the next market, the next seller will be selling our own maybe for just 250. You can see the difference. So there should be regulations. I know if you travel down even to the advanced countries where they use open market economy, of course there's still some level of regulation. Go to US, go to all those countries, they regulate their prices. Go to UK, go to all those places, there is market regulations. You can't just go to the market and I mean, as a market owner now, you can't just decide and wake up and decide to inflate your product. For what? The government will ask you, why are you doing? There's an agency monitoring all those things, and you dare not just take advantage to extort citizens. It's not done. So the government must do something about market regulations. I remember the time when this rice the border were closed for rice importations. A lot of Nigerians took advantage of that. A lot of rice sellers, some people were selling theirs at maybe 30,000. Some inflated theirs as high as 50,000, 40,000, and thereabout. There should be regulations. There should be control over those things. Yes, this is the time when we need to provide solutions to the problem. where we need to suggest solutions to government. And if there is one solution, if there are some solutions that I would like to provide to government in this aspect, is on, on our, we need to really regulate, like I said, regulate those things, make a strong, agency that will be regulating prices, checkmating the activities, the actions and inactions of market sellers, of commodities and everything. And I think it is high time we put less pressure on dollar. I keep saying it, Nigeria is a consuming country. We barely produce, produce nothing. Because even the little we produce in Nigeria, a lot of people don't buy the idea of Nigeria made products, which is really bad for our economy. The moment we keep depending on dollar, the less value we place on our naira. I keep saying it doesn't make any sense. There was a time in Buhari government when there was a bilateral agreement between Nigeria and China. Of course, we know that a lot of products we use in Africa are Chinese products. And it doesn't make sense. Nigerian government, Nigerian business people want to buy a product in China, and you have to trade in dollars. It doesn't make any sense. There should be a bilateral agreement between where we are buying from to buy their products in their currency. There was an agreement like that. I don't know why that agreement is not materializing. And even in the country, you see some schools, some high level of schools charging the parents in dollars, which is against the constitution. You go to some hotels in Abuja, they charge in dollars. So the more we put pressures on dollars, the more we appreciate dollars, the more we weaken our naira. We keep complaining of the devaluation of our naira, the naira not having values in the market. Yes, these are the reasons. Because we produce less and we consume more. All these things are being imported abroad. All these things are being imported. We import virtually everything, including even toothpick. It's very bad. So the more we keep depending on importation and we produce less, the more value we place on dollars. So we really need to boost our local production. There are a lot of local companies, local industries who are producing some of these things that we import from China, from European countries, from Japan. There are a lot of local companies that are producing these products. It is time the government really need to look out for those companies, look out for those industries who are doing fine in manufacturing, in producing some of these products that we import. The government must really look forward to boost them, to support them, and limit or restrict our importations. We need to do that. We need to restrict our importations. The more we keep importing, we import. I think it was reported last year, sometimes last year, that Nigerians even import, pizza, the pizza, hamburger, the shawarma that we eat. Some well-to-do families, they import it from UK. They prefer UK burger, they prefer UK, pizza and everything. This is very bad. How can we grow? How can we grow in this aspect? How can we go in this manner? Nigeria, no country will ever develop depending on another country. No. Chinese government didn't rise to power depending on others. They decided to boost their local production and they consume what they produce. That's why they were able to, cripple into they were able to, penetrate into the world economy. And today, the Chinese government is a threat even to the US government as I speak. And of course, they are the one controlling Africa right now. A lot of African countries are indebted to Chinese government. So it is time that we start looking for internal alternative to most of all these problems. There are a lot of things that is not even worthy of saying that we import from abroad. We need to limit those things. And like I said, we need a strong agency that will be regulating markets. That will be regulating market. Nigerians are very good in inflating products. Nigerians are very good in inflating their services. Yes, I know the fuel subsidy removal will really affect a lot of things, but of course, there should be regulations to all these things. That a place where where Tezi always take 400 naira, now I'm taking for 500 naira. There should be regulations, there should be monitoring. How did you arrive at this price? How did you arrive at this particular price? There should be regulation, there should be body who will be monitoring that. So, like I said, policy is not a problem to the government. Number one thing that's affecting most of all these policies is implementation. We are very poor when it comes to policy implementation. The government really need to work on that.
Oh,
It's so.
Mr. DJ, music no dey lie. Make you just dey jam as we dey try survive.
country hard, oh, but we go overcome. Forget your sorrow, but yeah, we overcome. Ojoro dande, but we go overcome. Ojoro dande,